Hey guys, it's Meg. What's up? What's poppin'? Welcome to the podcast. And welcome to the first episode of Spooktober this season. Did you like the new intro music we have for Spooktober? I hope you do. I actually currently recording this, don't know what it is. I haven't made it yet, but I'm hoping it's fun. I'm hoping it's cool and spooky. But let's get into the episode before I get more distracted. Sometimes pretty things can be deadly. So what are some flowers we should avoid? And let me tell you, this was the topic I was so scared to research because I feel like this is just putting you on lists that you shouldn't be on. Hey, what's up? It's Editing Meg. First off, what do we think of the new Spooktober theme? I can't tell if I like the saxophone part, which I actually recorded that 4 years ago, and that was almost the theme for this podcast. I just felt like the song was missing something, so that's why I added that part. Second, remember how I said I was worried about getting on a certain list? Well, what's crazy is, after I did all the research for this episode, Google emailed me and said they couldn't verify my age and that they were going to censor and restrict my access to the account I had for over a decade. For some reason, they just randomly decided they couldn't verify my age, so I had to go and verify my age for them. But I have 2 sources, because I only stopped at 2. Also, all the sources from the UK. Like, there wasn't any based in America. Getting a little suspicious, so I stopped at 2. The first source we have is Portsmouth. Wow, I really just said Portsmouth. Oh my god, there's really Portsmouth near me. PortsmouthNaturalHistory.co.uk. Listen, I'm recording this after I worked. Usually I do these on my days off, but I can't this week, so I'm so sorry for this episode. The article we have is called Poisonous Plants and Witchcraft. And they only gave 3 plants, but I have a lot-ish about each one. So the first one is called hemlock, and it is said to be used by European witches. And this one is literally crazy to me. It apparently was used in Greece as the state poison for executions. And it is believed that philosopher Socrates, I can never pronounce their names, Socrates, apparently died from this. So this website also gave you all the symptoms that would happen to you, and I didn't want to scar anybody or scare anybody, so I did not write any of those down. But if you want to go look those up at your own discretion. I'm also wondering, do I have to put this down as a not PG episode? Future Megan needs to look into this. But number 2 is deadly nightshade. Now this one here is literally, I think, such a famous one. It's in, what's the movie? Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas, there is some in that. I just feel like so many movies have deadly nightshade. And it actually goes back to 1550 BC. It was talked about in the Ebers Papyrus. I actually don't know what that is, and I actually didn't look it up. So let's look it up right now. Okay, so the Ebers Papyrus is also known as Papyrus Ebers, is an Egyptian medical papyrus. Is it papyrus? Of herbal knowledge. It is one of the oldest and most important medical papyri of ancient Egypt. What does this word mean? Oh, it's still around? Apparently it's in a university library. Apparently it's in the Leipzig University Library in Germany. I don't know how true that is. But what does this word here mean? Now I'm just getting distracted. This is why we don't record podcast episodes after a full 8-hour shift. But it's fine. Everything's fine. So this word means it's a material similar to thick paper that was used in ancient times as a writing material. The more you know. Where did I leave off? Oh, right here. In Greek mythology, the witch Circe poisoned Odysseus. I should have looked up all these pronunciations before I started. But you know what? We all know this is the Hey Guys, It's Meg episode. But basically, Circe poisoned this guy's men before they were turned into pigs. And it says it's also associated with Dionysus, and it says that worshippers of Dionysus mix it in a drink to induce a trance. Roman soldiers used to poison their arrows with deadly nightshade, and Some claim that if you eat the berries from the deadly nightshade plant, you would be punished by the devil. Speaking of that, I have to talk about this. By the time this podcast episode comes out, it's going to be like over and done with, hopefully. But right now as I'm recording this, it's supposed to be the rapture. That's all over TikTok. Like, people are believing that they're going to be ascended and they're going to leave this planet and we're going to be entering basically like 1,000 years of, I don't know how it could get worse. But yeah, that is what's going on right now when I'm recording the episode, which is really funny because it just reminded me of that. And number 3, the last plant they have is henbane, and it's also known as the witch's plant. It was used in magic and said to have the power of throwing its victims into convulsions. It's used in witches' midnight brew. It is worn by the dead in Hades as they wandered beside the river Styx, and a bishop in the early 1200s believed it could give someone power over the dead. But then in the complete opposite direction, in Italian festivals, it was used to fumigate stables to keep evil away. And when it comes to this word, hen does not come from chicken. Like, that's not their association. Apparently, the hen in the name comes from an old word meaning death. And an early Saxon term for it was Belain. Belain. And that is all that website gave. But I did not stop there. I went to a second website. And I'm just realizing that this website didn't have the fun fact that I found, and I don't know where I found it. But this one had 7, and going backwards, because that's how they did it, number 7, they said water hemlock, which we just discussed hemlock, so I'm not going to repeat any of the information. Number 6, they had deadly nightshade, but this time they gave a legend that the other website didn't tell us. Did I even tell you the website? I didn't even tell you the source. The source is Britannica.com, and it's 7 of the world's deadliest plants. And the legend of deadly nightshade is Macbeth's soldiers were poisoning the wine they gave to the invading Danes. That's it. Nothing crazy. Number 5, white snake fruit. Listen to this story. This plant is responsible for Abraham Lincoln's mother's death. Now you may be wondering, did she eat this plant? Did she touch this plant? No. She personally had no contact with this plant, but she was drinking milk, and the milk that came from the cow who had eaten this plant, which is why we have safety procedures put into place. She's the reason why, because they didn't know you could get it through the cow's milk. Number 4, I almost didn't write down, and you'll see why by the end of it, but I just want to put it out there right now. Don't you dare use this information and be like, oh, well, I learned it on the Hey Guys, It's Meg podcast. I got this from the Britannica.com website. Okay, that's where you got it from. It's not my fault I'm educating people on fun facts that aren't that fun. But castor bean. So when these beans are processed, they create castor oil, which is safe. But unprocessed, it's not. And so the poison from these seeds was actually used in 1978 to assassinate Georgy Markov. That sounds right. He was a journalist who spoke out against the Bulgarian government. These seeds were also mailed to several U.S. politicians and a failed you-know-what attempt. And that's that for that one. Number 3 is also pretty crazy and very interesting. It's called rosary pea, aka Jacarity beans? Definitely didn't pronounce that right. But at least I own up to it and I don't try to pretend like I do. Or change the name to make it easier. But these seeds are not poisonous if intact. But if the seeds are scratched, broken, or chewed up, they are. Now here's the crazy part about these rosary pea plant. It is used in jewelry and prayer rosaries. I'm going to repeat that for you. It is used in jewelry and prayer rosaries. In your rosaries. I don't know how. I didn't look it up because at this point I was too scared that I was on this website for as long as I was. So maybe editing Meg can come in and tell us how this works. So I tried looking it up. And honestly, I still can't find how and why it's allowed to be made because every website I was looking at kept saying, yeah, it's poisonous, but people still make it into jewelry and rosaries.
And then they were like, and often for babies. So I really don't understand the logic behind this.
Thank you for that. And even with that information that you all know, many jewelers have become ill or even died from accidentally pricking themselves while working. The second plant they gave is oleander, and it said that Pliny the Elder in ancient Rome said that it's a beautiful plant known for its striking flowers. And let me tell you, this website just told of all the horrific, awful things that happen if you come in contact with this plant. And the only fact I pulled from this that wasn't traumatizing was people had become sick after eating the honey made by honeybees that visited the flowers. But it is so rare it happens, so you don't have to worry about this. Like, the odds of it happening are literally so minimal. And the number one plant that this website gave, which I didn't even write a single fact on because I get it's a plant, but like I feel like it's just known information at this time. And the number one plant is tobacco. But there was a plant that was talking about the Salem witch trial, and I don't remember what website I was using. So we're going to quickly go back because I literally just did my research for this. And then, see, here was the thing. There was so many plants, and I could have kept going, but I was like, no. Let's stop here because I can do a whole nother podcast episode on this. And eventually we'll do an episode on poison rings. Maybe we'll do that next week instead of the topic I picked out because I kind of like this better. But it was not this because this was the one about apples. It was talking about apple seeds, in case you were wondering. Was it this? No, this was like a website that was like actually like teaching you how to like plant them. And let me go back to what I searched. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to find it now. I would have editing may come in, but I'm gonna find this. I'm determined now. It's from rhs.org.uk, again the UK, and it is called Pick Your Poison, the Deadliest Plants on the Planet, for my source. And this is the only one I'm going to talk about because I want to save this article in case I want to use it in the future. But Salem, Massachusetts, there was the Salem witch trials where 2 young girls began experiencing these like fits and hallucinations, and they kept saying they were being pinched and pricked, and so they blamed it and said it was witchcraft. But scientists and historians are now saying that a fungus might have caused it, and ergo infects cereal grasses, and it's particularly during periods of prolonged dampness. And they can make this cereal grass into bread. So people infected with the ergo experience hallucinations, hysteria, and a feeling of crawling on their skin. So people are saying that that's probably what happened is they probably just ate a fungus without realizing it. And there's even reports back from the Middle Ages where entire villages of people were having a quote-unquote dancing mania. And it is believed to have been from this ergo. But isn't that interesting? I thought that was so fun.
You know what else is fun and I forgot to mention in this podcast episode is there is actually a whole poison plant museum over in England. It's the Alnwick, Alnwick Garden, also known as the Poison Garden in Northumberland, and it is said to have around 100 poisonous plants.
And our newest way to end an episode is to pull an affirmation card, and you guys are never going to believe it. Guess what I did? Guess what I finally did? My sister was home today because of me doing this after I come out of work. And I was like, hey, do you have those affirmation decks? And she was like, yeah, sure. So we went down to her room. She pulled out so many, but let me grab it. The one I chose for our whole Spooktober season, so we're going to use this for the next couple episodes, is called Whispering Woods, Enchanting Secrets from the Forest by Jessica Lee. And I don't know, it just really, like, it's giving cottagecore, but the minute I saw the word woods, I said, that's creepy, that's spooky. Let's do some ASMR shuffling that is never ASMR shuffling. I almost just dropped everything. This is not really working out either. Oh, that one's falling. Finally got one. I also think this deck is from like the same printing company that my other ones are from. I really like this company, but which is the one that fell out? Wait. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny because it talks about roots, and we have a whole podcast episode on plants. Our affirmation for the week is strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. And that is it. So, the next time you will come across a really pretty plant and you don't know what it is, maybe wait, maybe figure out what it is, because even though it's pretty, it could be pretty deadly. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Hey Guys, It's Meg. You can follow Hey Guys, It's Meg _podcast on Instagram for updates and good times. Come back next week, which I now don't know what to do because originally next week's episode's on the 13th and it's season 13. And I was like, maybe we can do the history of the number 13 and why there's so much superstition around it. But now that we talked about poisonous plants today, next week if we did like poison rings, that could be so fun. That's definitely going to be like red flagging me so badly. But you know what? Somebody would be paying attention to me and hearing me. So maybe we'll do it. I'll see you all on the flip side. Peace out, Girl Scouts.